So way back in 2011 and 2012, I used to use alcohol for a different reason other than enjoyment in terms of a social aspect. I used to abuse it because it was my escapism from the real world. And today's show, I want to talk about 4 ways that helped me get out of that booze rut. And they are the same 4 ways that a lot of my guys who I work with get out of their rut. So let's get into this. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. And if you are coming through, please do let me know. Drop a love heart. Please do comment in the comments below. Say hi, where you're from. Let me know if this makes sense to you. Let me know if you do struggle with alcohol. That's a big thing as well, by the way, if you do that. If you put that in there, that'd be super amazing for you more than anyone. And then do share this as well with anyone that you might know. So how are we doing? Hope you had a good Monday. Another difficult morning. Still trying to get my head around, obviously losing my boy. This is really the hardest period of the day, missing him, because he was closest to me here. So we're still struggling. I'm happy. I'm open to admit that I still am. But I think it'll be like that for a while. But we crack on, right? The world still keeps spinning. And we've got men's lives to change. So, alcohol. When it's moderated, when you use it moderately, and you use it in a social aspect, it's not the end of the world. You know, if you're going out for your wife for dinner, or you have a drink on a Friday night, or you go out with the boys once a quarter, you know, in moderation, I think it's great to have that release. But I think that when we start relying on alcohol every single night, or the majority of the week, because we use it as an escapism from the world, we use it from an escapism of the struggles and the fight, that's when we start slipping into that, what I would consider a booze rut. You might have been there. You know, if you want to share that you've been there, then please do, because I know that other men watching this will take inspiration that it's not just them. For many men, including myself at that period of time of my life, I thought it was just me. You know, I used to look at booze like virtual reality. You know, if you've ever put one of those headsets on, virtual reality headsets, you kind of get lost in a virtual world, which is another way of escapism. Another way of saying, look, when you've had a few drinks, you feel a little bit more confident, you feel a little bit more optimistic, you tend to be like upbeat, but then we wake up the next morning, we're groggy, we're grouchy, we're moody, we're hard to be around, we're not showing up, it affects our work, relationships, and we want to be able to get over that. So listen, the points that I give you here, I'm not trained in dealing with counselling with alcoholism. This is just purely based on experience and what I've figured for myself. So the first thing would be self-acknowledgement. And one of the first things that I recognised was I have to accept that I had a drinking issue, which when people used to say, I think you've got a drinking issue, Jay, and I'd be like, what are you talking about? Acceptance is huge. Acceptance of anything that is a problem is huge. Turn around and saying, yes, I have a drinking problem is the first step. And until you do that, I think it's going to be very difficult to change you change your path, okay, to be able to change the way that you deal with alcohol. Self-acceptance, which is why I said that if you do comment in the comments below saying that I struggle with alcohol, that's a huge step. That's a huge step. Second one is distraction. Now, for me, I used to create what was called a detox 5K. Now, when I accepted it and I had an urge to drink, to forget, or feel invincible, as soon as I got instinct, I would stick on my trainers and run this 5K route, and it was mad. I remember one time, in one day, in my mental raw marine attitude, I run 10 5Ks. That's how much I was craving alcohol. And I remember coming back from the 10th 5K. It was mental. My legs were killing. By the way, I was getting super fit as well. I poured all the alcohol down the drain. I felt that strong. You know, I used to drink quite a lot, and I just poured like 80 quid's worth of booze down the drain. I felt really empowered. I'm really empowered. Third one is support. Now, I never did this. I guess I did this myself. I guess the way that I got support was support through my partner, through watching videos on YouTube. You know, everyone's different. I recommended one of my lads, one of my boys on the 28 day to go to A&A at our last workshop 2 weeks ago, and he did, and he's already seen a huge difference by going to A&A. And he hasn't had a drink for 2-3 weeks. An incredible, like, young guy who is shifting his mindset and his attitude, right? And he's starting to see life through different eyes now that drink isn't involved, which is amazing to listen to. But I think you need to find some form of support. Sometimes you do, whether it's family, whether it's an AA group of some form, whether it's a helpline, you know, whether it's me, you know, I don't know. But I think that we all need some form of support when it comes to it. And then I think the last one for me, which was really, really important, which connects a lot of dots, whether it's drinking, health, relationships, career, is accountability. Now, one of our lads in the mastermind group, and he's not the first person, there's been a few, does a streak in our mastermind. Now, we run our community on a non-social media platform. It's run through an app, it's through a community app. And I think he's up to day 65 or 66. It's incredible to watch these lads doing it, you know. I remember when he was day one, I literally can't believe it's been 60 days. I know he's going, it's just, I've got to do something, here's the start. And now, the difference in his life and the things that he's doing and the way that he's talking and the way that he's conducting himself is completely, the only way I can describe it is pure, because he has a pure mindset, because it's not tarnished by booze. And he's starting to see the difference. And I think it's incredible when you have accountability to peers, to coaches, to mentors, to somebody at A&A, to a partner, to yourself. You know, I did that in a way that I guess my accountability was to me, and I think maybe my discipline background from the military allowed me to do that. But then my 4, self-acceptance, acceptance of anything is huge, distraction, support, and accountability. And I hope they help, guys. Like, you know, like I say, I'm not trained an expert in all of this, but I just think these are things that can help. You know, I think the distraction for many of you could be working on yourselves in terms of morning routines, in terms of health, in terms of career change, you know, finding something. The reason we drink in the first place is because we're lost, right? We lose identity. You know, I drank a little bit too much over the last week, losing Digby, and it brought back a lot of those memories of me drinking when I left the military. You know, we lose ourselves. We want to ease the pain. You know, mine's temporary pain. For many people, it's permanent pain because they don't know where they're going. They're losing direction. They don't know how to live the second half of their lives, you know. So I hope that helps. Big wallowing mess, aren't I? Anyway, listen, have a great week. Take charge, be in control, live the life you want.